You say Europeans never created a civilization.
Show me one. That's the only question I've had. Show me a European civilization. Rome was not a civilization. Greece was not a civilization. You don't know a day in the history of Greece where there wasn't a war. You don't know a day in the history of Rome when there wasn't a war. Those are not civilization. Those are death culture, war culture. They're not building anything. They're stealing from other people, borrowing from other people, and still carrying on this anti-human, anti-nature behavior of murdering, stealing to conquer and appropriate something that belonged to someone else that you could have gotten by just shaking their hands and making a deal.
Why are white people so intimidated and threatened by black men, despite their claims that black men are inferior to them and incapable of the most basic tasks?
Well, there's an easy answer to that question. They know black men are superior to them. Put us on any playing field, be it physics or football, and we will win. Give us the same opportunities, and we will win. Because we come from a history of not trying to destroy and dominate the world, and you come from a history of trying to destroy and dominate the world, and that has become the culture of the white community.
Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Yawanathan. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Now, even the kingdom of heaven is going to be preceded by war, but that's simply because the wicked and the nations have to be recompensed for all the evil that they've done. As the scriptures say in Numbers 35, the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him who shed it. Okay, so that's simply a recompense. But if you want to identify who the Edomites are, who the wicked is, they're going to be the ones using the sword to get everything that they desire. They're going to be the ones, like it talks about in Micah 2, extorting people for their lands and resources and oppressing people all the way down to their heritage. It's not hard or a difficult task to identify who the Edomites are today. Also, they will be the people ruling upon the Lord's return. We know that pursuant to a couple precepts. You go to 2 Ezra 6 and 9, talks about the end of the world. All right, for Esau is the end of the world, meaning age here. The word is aeon. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, meaning the kingdom of heaven, which will be ruled by Israel, would be established after Esau's rulership. Okay, so we know he ruled as the Romans hit that deadly wound. That deadly wound was healed. The Renaissance period, they came back into power, and we're coming to the end of their kingdom, end of their reign. We also know when you go to Ezekiel 36, that they will be the same people who appointed the Holy Land to their possession. All right. It says Ezekiel 36 and 5, therefore thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, the Greek way of saying Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. We also know, pursuant to Isaiah the 47th chapter, that they are connected to the daughter of Babylon, right? And the daughter of Babylon is going to be destroyed by the Lord. And we'll get that in Psalms really quick, but let's read this Isaiah 47:1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, okay? We're talking about the virgin daughter. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. In ancient Babylon, the Chaldeans would have been like the priesthood. But in this daughter of Babylon, you have the scientists and the people that are trying to achieve immortality through left-handed means. You have Esau, they have their priesthood here. A guy like Elon Musk would be a left-handed priest. A guy like Bill Gates would be a left-handed priest. Okay? Take the millstones and grind the mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. This man is being exposed. Inquisition is being made of the wicked, like it talks about in 2 Ezra 6 and 18, or 19, 18 or 19. Verse 3, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. So when the Lord comes back and he hasn't met us as a man, he's coming back as that great angelic power. So it's just talking about the end of days, the end of the age, same age we were talking about in 2 Ezra 6 and 9. Verse 4, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Okay, now let's connect the daughter of Babylon to the Edomites. And to do that, we go to Psalms 137 and 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom on the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, raise it. Tear it to the ground. They were always in the forefront of aiding other nations to destroy us. There's a recompense, there's a bill and a tab that they built up over the centuries. Okay? Who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, okay? Daughter of Babylon, right? Who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Now above this, in verse 7, who did it mention? Who did it connect? To the daughter of Babylon. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. Boom. So in Isaiah 47, all right, the daughter of Babylon that will be ruling upon the Lord's return will be ruled by the Edomites. So yeah, when you talk about the Edomites, they don't have a culture besides death. Their culture is death. Okay, so there's going to be a recompense for all the hatred and evil and death they sowed into the earth. Okay, Ezekiel 35 and 5. Let's get that. All right, Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual, non-stop, hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, right? Again, the Edomites will be able to be identified by the blessing that they were blessed with, that sword. By the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time when their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood. This is their recompense. And blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir, Edomites, most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys and in thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. And this is what the Lord has ordained. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can do to change what this man's destiny is. Nothing you can do to change what the Lord has ordained this man's ending to be. And a lot of our people don't get that. We're simply the weather forecasters of what the Lord has already proclaimed, what he's already mapped out. But because they love this kingdom, they love the setup that Esau has created, which is not to their benefit in any way, they say that we preach hate. When this man is the personification of hate itself. But this is why 2/3 of our people are also proclaimed to die their death as well. You know, nothing we can do about that either. Just got to be happy that we're on the right side of things up until now, and that we stay the course all the way through to the end. So I want to run that clip one more time, man, and we'll pretty much close out.
You say Europeans never created a civilization.
Show me one. That's the only question I've had. Show me a European civilization. Rome was not a civilization. Greece was not a civilization. You don't know a day in the history of Greece where there wasn't a war. You don't know a day in the history of Rome and there wasn't a war. Those are not civilization. Those are death culture, war culture. They're not building anything. They're stealing from other people, borrowing from other people, and still carrying on this anti-human, anti-nature behavior of murdering, stealing to conquer and appropriate something that belonged to someone else that you could have gotten by just shaking their hands and making a deal.
Why are white people so intimidated and threatened by black men, despite their claims that black men are inferior to them and incapable of the most basic tasks?
Well, there's an easy answer to that question. They know black men are superior to them. Put us on any playing field, be it physics or football, and we will win. Give us the same opportunities, and we will win. Because we come from a history of not trying to destroy and dominate the world, and you come from a history of trying to destroy and dominate the world, and that has become the culture of the white community.
Yep, so Abba Ratazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, double honors to apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, a few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.